play for you kids at home a little excerpt from my song called Dusk from
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well,
yeah,
exclusive new track. Let's hear it.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man. It was the summer of my disillusion. Noisy confusion was out patronizing me. Saw your reflection in the stream of my thoughts, clouded by why nots and the corpse of my esteem. How now, where will I go? Been holding out so long to see the show, the actor on the stage, the part I was born to play. Don't wanna wait for night to come. I don't wanna grow old to find I'm growing young. It's too late to turn back now, too soon to doubt. But I guess that's why you put the past behind your love. I guess that's why it's does. I'll shift into this little part about this is what they do at piano bars. You just cut your songs into like short little clips. Go ahead and wish me luck as I sort through how God was a bust and I only got a dime or two when I check my pockets to find the truth. And thanks for the advice you gave me. I'll never forget the effect it made on me. Cliches are like old general stores, saying thanks familiar in life, let me buy much more. Don't wanna wait for night to come. I don't wanna grow old if I'm growing young. It's too late to turn back now, too soon to doubt. But I guess that's why I guess that's why I guess that's why you put the past behind your love. I guess that's why it's does. There's a 2/4 key of G sharp that we're in.
It's a very high range with the capo up.
Yeah, no, it's too late at night for. I'm not intoxicated enough to be singing those notes, but Tom York, Radiohead kind of vibe.
It's amazing you can sing that high. I can never get that close.
Thanks, man. Well, I don't know. I've heard guys at the piano bar sometimes sing. One guy in San Francisco I've played with whose voice is like, it's like Broadway sky high.
Wow.
Like journey sky high. So
what's that song about? Like what inspired Dusk?
Dusk I wrote when I was living in Arizona and I had my own apartment. And I was, some years had passed since leaving Jehovah's Witnesses. And it was kind of recollecting that time, which was very painful and traumatic. And I met somebody who really gave me a lot of information, inspired me. I couldn't even think straight. There were some days I was like chronically depressed and really not knowing like what to do with myself. And my family had left the organization, but had also left it and moved in different directions throughout the country. So I met her and we just had a series of amazing conversations. She was a few years older than me, and she just like was like, it became clear that I needed to like travel and probably go to college and just kind of get my life like some structure back. In fact, that's probably the right way to see it. She gave me a lot of information, which I took to the bank, is just seeing the value of structure. Because you leave Jehovah's Witnesses or like a tight knit group, and there's so much structure. And you leave it, and if you leave it cold turkey, it's like quitting a drug, and suddenly you're just like totally the opposite. There's no structure. Aside from my part-time job, so I was working like 2 days a week. I would just sleep all day and watch TV and be depressed for most of a summer. But yeah, so I took a trip. I spent all the savings I had, and my grandparents had put a little money away for me. It was like a couple $1,000 bucks. I blew all of it. Took a trip impulsively to London, because I grew up loving so many like British bands, and I even met, maybe 2 weeks before, I met another impulsive young person who was going to art school. And she was one of the first friends I made after leaving the organization, actually. But yeah, we went to London for just over a week, and it was awesome. It was crazy. It was bizarre. But I came back and I started going to college. And so it's kind of just a memory of that summer, of the uncertainty that I felt, but also the hopefulness that I would just start like a new path. And the one line in particular, so I was 28, almost 29 when I wrote the song, and I'm fairly well into my 30s now, but it's almost more poignant for me now than even was then, that I don't want to grow old since I'm growing young. It's how I felt, that I think a lot of people who've left JWs or even just other groups and religions can relate to, is that like, okay, well, I would like to turn back the hands of time. I'd like to turn back the clock. And I would fucking like to get back some time that was spent in the group when I believed, wholeheartedly that this was the right thing to be doing, and that it's had God's personal stamp of approval. I would sure like to get that time back, but I can't, and it's gone. And you can't turn back the hands of time. And you can't do anything about that. You are getting older, even though you are so unsure of yourself and who you are and what you want to do, and what's important and what you believe. And none of that is set, and you can't like stop. Like, you can't like freeze time. You can't like say, just stop. Let me figure all that shit out, and then we'll get back to this whole like getting older thing. That's not how it works. So the song was on that line, and that was almost like my negotiation with it. Like, just like, I want to just like freeze time for like a year or two. Let me get my shit together, and then we'll get back to this thing where I'm a human in the real world, outside of the kind of the fantasy of the witnesses and their beliefs.
Yeah, I totally relate to that, which is why I like went traveling, because I was like, I need a break.
Yeah.
I want to stop time. Yeah. And like just I'm gonna go read a bunch of books and like have some fun for a minute, and I'll come back to reality later.
Yeah.
I did a couple times.
Nice.
Probably should have had some structure. Probably should have done what you did.
Well, no, it's wonderful to be unstructured when you can. It's great.
Yeah. It's valuable.
Yeah. Now, with the benefit of like being a more stable person. Now, it's great to have periods of being unstructured, for sure.